I try to keep it somewhere safe. I'm bad about keeping up with small things.
So what we're talking about right now is the Equis opportunity.
Okay.
And we're going to go into sales system. We're going to get Chris Chalk up here. And then I promised everybody that they would get to hear your story.
Okay.
I told them a little bit about it, but they want to hear how in the heck you joined. Did you join? I think you joined Equis in like February, March of 2016.
February, March.
So what they want to hear is exactly how you joined in February, March, and what you did to actually earn over 6 figures.
Well, it's fresh on my mind, so I can definitely tell you about it.
So good deal. Good having you here.
All right.
So, and I'll wrap up this part of it, but guys, this is, when I sit down and I talk about the Equis opportunity, I first want to address people's frustration, and I want to let them know that, you know what, we understand the 4 quadrants. We understand when you put you in any one of these 4 quadrants, you start producing a different result in your life. So how many of you guys honestly can say that I'm here today and I'm looking at developing just a new season of my life, and I'm looking at going into Equis and creating a different result than I've ever created before? Can you guys say that? Okay? Because here's the thing, guys, and this sets me up to talk about Equis, is when we hire people, people can start off in the self-employed quadrant day one, and they can take and own and operate their own time, control their own time, and make as much money as they need to make in that quadrant in as little time necessary. See, in the E quadrant, we're kind of like we work for somebody else, so it doesn't matter how efficient we are in a little bit of time, they usually like us to be there. So like if you skip out of work on Wednesday and your boss calls you and says, hey, what's up? Say, hey man, I finished all my work and just thought I'd take the rest of the week off. That generally doesn't go over well, right? Because they're like, no, we're not paying you to be efficient. We want you to be here don't leave until 5. And if you're ambitious, like 5:02. Anybody ever done that? Hey, clock out at 5:03, and it's like, that's gonna look really good when they look at those. Too many of those strings of 456s. It's like I want to beat the traffic, right? It's incredible that mindset. So we help people start off in the S quadrant, and then, like Nate's going to talk about in his story, and like Chris Chalk will talk about today, is the transitioning to taking what's working for you. I mean, Andrew Pappas, will you stand up real quick? Tell him your name.
Andrew Pappas.
And the countrified is Pappas, sorry. Now, Andrew, you work full time.
Yes, I do.
I mean, how awesome is it to be able to start off part-time? Because Ollie hadn't told you you got to quit your job. As a matter of fact, he's probably encouraging you to stay with it, until you build up a lot of maybe 6 months of income and things like that. But how awesome is it to be able to make the amount of money you're making working part-time?
It is awesome.
So if somebody else is in this room and they're looking at maybe getting started part-time, can they do it?
Definitely.
Okay.
You say part-time, what do you mean, how many hours a week?
My part-time is I run 2 appointments to 4 appointments during the week, and then I run final expense for 4 or 5 hours on a Saturday. That's about it right now.
How much did you make last week, Andrew?
As long as everything gets approved, I should make about $2,500.
And your full-time is 9 to 5,
Yeah.
Monday through Friday.
I made last week what it'll take me almost a whole month at my full-time job.
Isn't that awesome?
It's great.
Did anybody have anybody invited that didn't come that you wish heard that?
Yep.
I was always sitting there thinking, because everybody that Ollie ever invited came, and I was sitting there going, man, I got 100 people I invited that should have heard that, right? I don't want you guys to miss this, because I'm going to tell you something. You can come on board with Equis Financial, And if you want to succeed in the S quadrant and you want to go out there, let's say that you want to go out there and earn $100,000 a year and you want to work 2 to 3 days a week, do you guys understand that y'all can accomplish that here? Dan, have you, I mean, absolutely. And so how many of you guys that maybe have a full-time job, it would be a dream for you to be able to start off with Equis Financial and maybe within the next 8 to 10 to 12 months, develop the skill level where you can work 2 to 3 days a week, maybe every now and then a 4th day, and make consistently over 6-figure income. There you go. Absolutely, and you can do that. And for those of you guys that do want to transition, maybe you're at the point right now, self-employed wise, where you're making that amount of money. But you know what? At some point in time, working the 2 to 3 days a week and waking up every Monday unemployed, it's like, man, I don't want to go serve families. As awesome as it is to serve families, I'd rather not go serve them this week and my income not take a hit. Well, the only way to do that, don't get frustrated at that. See, don't sit there and think, well, I've done something wrong because I'm working 2 to 3 days a week and I'm only making 6 figures. Right? Now, we say that, we laugh, but do y'all know how easy it is to get in the habit of making 6 figures, working 2 to 3 days a week, and then all of a sudden get sour about that? Right? We forget what it's like to work 5, 6 days a week for $30,000. Right? You know, but there's different levels, right? But that's why I don't want y'all to miss this. Because the opportunity at Equis Financial, it realizes that. And the thing about it is that no matter what result that you want to create, we're going to be with you to help you create that result. I was reminded of a story. And this kind of sums up this part of it. This sums up the frustration that people feel. There was a guy, and I use this analogy because, like, where I'm from in, like, redneck country down south, I mean, all we have is, like, cornfields and tobacco fields. And do y'all have that stuff up here?
Mm-hmm. We have cornfields.
Cornfields? Okay, well, so let's think, and this will be an incredibly simple story, which you'll figure out in the first 20 seconds, but just understand, even though how simple it is, how many people we pass every single day that's stuck in this very simple story. But if you take somebody and this person has grown up, let's say this person's name is John, and this person is brought up and all he's ever taught is how to plant corn. That's all he's ever taught. And John becomes very good at planting corn because his dad planted corn, his granddad planted corn. That's all they were corn farmers. But at some point in time in John's life, he got a little tired of corn. And he started seeing other people in life that went out there in the fields and worked, and they had a different crop come up. Call it tobacco, call it beans, call it whatever. And I would sit there and look at tobacco, and I would go, wow, well, that's pretty. It's got leaves on it. It's, you know, you do different things with it. It's just a different result doing similar activities. And so what I started doing was I started secretly writing my goals down. Anybody in a success circle has ever heard of writing your goals down? Right? Okay. So I wrote my goals down, and guess what I wrote down? I want tobacco. And so I went out there next year and I planted my corn because that's what I knew how to do. And I was hoping all year, Kara, that I would have tobacco come up, but what would come up? It's an incredible, simple story, so bear with me. So this next year, not only did I write my goal down that I wanted tobacco, I actually saw on a billboard, I was driving around the metro roadways here in Detroit, and I saw a billboard that said, success event. What's the name of like a, where they play basketball here?
Little Caesars Arena.
Little Caesars Arena. So there's success event, Little Caesars Arena. And And you could go down there, you could pay a couple $100, and you could go to this success event, and Colin Powell and Zig Ziglar and all these guys are going to be teaching. And all of a sudden I see up there, oh my gosh. So I'll go to that event, and to be sure, they'll teach me how to actually have tobacco. So I go to that event, and I spend 2 days of my life and money that I don't have to go to that event. And Mario, I come out of that event, and I go out there, and did I start planting tobacco? No, but I planted corn. And so I had my goals written down. I had all this excitement from the event. And what did I have come up?
Corn.
And so the third year, I went and took a time management class. So not only did I have my goal written down, not only was I fired up about going down the wrong road faster, now I was more efficient at creating what I didn't want. In this painfully simplistic story, can you guys see where most people are in our world? And they really don't understand, Val, that in order to have tobacco, a lot of that's good to know, but in order for me to have tobacco, all I had to do was to start investing something different. All I had to do was start doing something different. And when I look at this quadrant up here, it's very simple. If I want a different result, then I have to understand which quadrant I'm working in. Does that make sense, Jim Bosch? And if I'm working in the quadrant that produces the result that I want, well, that's a lot of times when the opportunity and preparedness meet and the right result is created. But how many people wake up every single morning, they get in traffic out there because they're still going out there thinking that it's the amount of money or it's the next promotion. It's the next bonus that I'm going to get that's going to create that success. And it's simply not true. So let's talk about Equis Financial.